Stop using ChatGPT like a beginner. Here are 10 pro tips you can use to level up today. Number 10, gap analysis. Here's a real example. I've got a YouTube video almost done. The title's good, the outline is solid, and the script is about 80% there. But when I read it back, it's missing something. So this doesn't just cover scripts, it can cover any communication that you're doing. Paste the whole thing into ChatGPT and ask it one question. What's missing? That's it. Don't ask it to rewrite anything. Don't ask it for new ideas. And just like that, it will tell you things that you never thought of. For example, for my video script, it will tell me things like there's no clear takeaway or the hook doesn't match the promise. And that's the gap. When you're deep in your own work, sometimes you miss the little things that will cause you not to connect with your audience or your stakeholders. Always just dump it into ChatGPT, ask what's missing, ask how you could give it more value or more impact, and you'll be surprised at the information that it gives you. Number 9, image generation. Weak prompts create horrible images. I use ChatGPT to write my prompts to then go to Google Gemini and then update or create my images. In this specific instance, I have a thumbnail that I want to change. It is no human needed. I want to change the text. I'm going to say, write me a prompt to change the text on this image to like and subscribe instead of no human needed. And I'll put in brackets Gemini. We're going to get a more detailed prompt. Here's a copy paste image editing prompt that will reliably swap the text while preserving the thumb's CTR style. You can see I had a very basic prompt here, and you can look at the detail of the prompt we got from Gemini. I'll grab this quickly and go into Gemini, and I already have the image loaded, and I'm going to ask it to change this text. And the importance of that is when you ask ChatGPT to change an image, it can make mistakes and does alter your original image. When you use it as a prompt engine to write your prompt for Gemini, you cut down on the amount of time you have to be re-prompting and re-engaging by literally 100% at least. I took the prompt we got from ChatGPT, put it into Gemini with the image, and here's the result that we got. Perfect. They kept the image the actual same as before and just changed the text. Now, if we wanted to change the colors on this, I would still ask ChatGPT to write the prompt for me and make sure I get exactly what I want in Gemini. Number 8, business consultant. This is different. This is when I'm choosing strategies. Let's say I'm deciding what direction to take my channel in. I want to do AI news because I want to keep up to date on what's happening. I want to do evergreen tutorials because I want to learn to use the tools myself and learn about the different models and what are the benefits and the differences between each. I'm looking for high-level strategy business consulting advice. All of these ideas could work. I paste my situation into ChatGPT and I say, act like a business consultant. Based on my goals and my constraints, which path makes the most sense and why? Now it's not analyzing gaps, it's comparing options. It's telling me this will grow bigger, AI news, but it will also burn you out because you're trying to chase a hearse and get on top of every single story if you're doing it every day. It will also tell you things like this compounds slower, but lasts longer. Because you're doing tool reviews and different models, people will always be looking those up. It looks at your strengths and decides what's better for you, just like a consultant would. It helps you choose a direction instead of just giving you more options and more confusion. Number 7 is fact checking. I use ChatGPT to fact check the other chatbots that I use. I'm doing an AI news story on the 2 biggest AI news stories in January, and I asked Gemini to provide them for me. I'm going to take those titles and put it into ChatGPT. I want to see if ChatGPT agrees or disagrees with these being the top 2 stories in January. The first story is NVIDIA acquires Grok's tech and team in a $20 billion deal, and Google launches Gemini 3 and personal intelligence. This is one way we can make sure that we are looking at the biggest stories out there to maximize the reach. So they're confirming the stories. Are these the 2 biggest stories? It says yes, it has confirmed it. Make sure you always fact check information from one chatbot with another before you begin your creative process. Number 6, executive brief or executive summary. I use ChatGPT like an executive filter. I'll paste in a long article or report or an AI thread, and I won't ask it for a summary. I'll ask it for what actually matters here. What are the takeaways? Or if I only remember 3 things, what should they be? It pulls the signal out of the noise. Another way I use this is with headlines. I'll paste a few stories and ask, which of these actually matters to my audience? This is how I stop reacting to everything and focus on what's actually important. Number 5, decision support. I just put 2 titles into ChatGPT for a potential video. I want to make sure I pick the title with the highest potential click-through rate. I put the 2 titles in and the prompt, and I'm going to see what ChatGPT comes up with. And I asked it to provide a reason why it feels one is better than the other. The 2 titles were AI just forced a decision most companies aren't ready to make, and 2, the AI decision every leader needs to understand right now. ChatGPT chose AI just forced a decision most companies aren't ready to make as number 1. Why does this one win on CTR? STR, stronger emotional trigger, and clear narrative tension. Feels like breaking news, not advice. And the second one underperformed because AI decision every leader needs to understand right now sounds educational, not dangerous. Sometimes you need a second opinion before you go to print or before you publish something, and ChatGPT can help you with your decision. Number 4, kill indecision. Most indecision isn't about not knowing enough. It's about having too many options. When I'm stuck, I'll ask ChatGPT what I'm deciding. I'll ask it to lay out the trade-offs or the pros and cons or what I gain and lose with each option. Sometimes I'll even ask if I don't do anything for 6 months, what happens? If I commit to this, what happens? It doesn't just choose for you. It clears the fog and gives you the trade-offs of each option. And it helps you move forward a lot easier. Kill the indecision. Make ChatGPT do the analysis for you. Number 3, content editor. Sometimes you have a large block of information you need to break down. Simply throw it into ChatGPT and say, please turn this into succinct bullet points. This will look a lot better on a PowerPoint presentation or a video slide. Here you go. We went from a block of text to bullet points that our viewers can easily digest. Number 2, expert mode. This one's huge. Most people ask ChatGPT generic questions and get generic, boring answers. I don't do that. I tell it who it's supposed to be. Act like a YouTube creator, act like a business owner, act like a consultant. Same question, completely different output. If I'm learning something new, I'll say, explain this like I'm a beginner, or if I'm a 5-year-old, or as if I'm in grade 5. If I already know the basics, I'll say, explain this like I'm an expert, or like I'm trying to teach this to someone. I'm not changing the tool. What I'm doing is changing the perspective. That's how you stop getting surface level answers. Number 1, content packaging. You can have a great idea or a great story that you want to use for, say, a video, but it doesn't have to stop there. You don't have to kill it once it's done. You can use it on other platforms and you can create other pieces of content with it. Here I have my title that I feel is hot and I want to use it for a video. AI assistants are quietly shifting from helpful tools to decision makers, and most people haven't noticed the moment that the line was crossed. One story, 3 potential different pieces of content, and you can use these different outlines and these different newsletters and tweak them how you will or how you feel best for your audience, but you make sure that you are getting the most out of big stories when they come in and using that content across multiple platforms. There you have it. You see, it comes down to prompting a lot. If you want to become a master at prompting, check out my video right here, how I teach you how to prompt with Soul, and also another video that I have that shows you Google's prompting techniques. Thanks for watching.